We usually don't put much thought into our sleep position. If we get enough sleep, that's all that matters for our health, right? But your sleep position is affecting more than you think. It impacts your posture, your spine, your digestion, and even how quickly you die. If you are tired of unexplainable back pain and wrinkles that keep you awake at night, you need to pay attention now. Your sleep position could be the reason. Watch till the end to see the sleep positions you should avoid and the ones that are actually ideal for you. The damage often begins in the smallest, most overlooked habits. Night after night, the body settles into a position that feels natural, familiar, even comforting. Over time, that comfort starts shaping how the body moves, breathes, and recovers. 1. Sleeping on the stomach or the face-down position. It usually starts with ease. The body sinks into the mattress, the weight feels evenly spread, and there's a quiet sense of being held in place. For many seniors, this position becomes a habit formed over years. It feels reliable. It feels like rest comes quicker this way. Someone like Mr. Khalid, a 69-year-old retired shopkeeper, had followed this pattern for most of his life. It gave him a sense of calm at the end of the day. He believed it helped his back loosen up after long hours on his feet. What felt like relief was slowly building tension in places that weren't meant to carry it. The neck takes the first hit. To breathe, the head has to stay turned to one side for long stretches of time. That single adjustment pulls the muscles out of their natural alignment. Blood flow becomes slightly restricted, and the nerves along the upper spine begin to feel the pressure. It doesn't always show up immediately, but the signs begin to appear gradually. Morning stiffness, a dull ache behind the head, or a strange heaviness in the shoulders. As the nights pass, those small signals grow stronger. Tingling in the arms becomes more frequent. The neck loses its natural flexibility. Simple movements like turning the head or lifting it after sleep begin to feel tighter than before. The strain doesn't stay limited to the neck. With the chest pressed against the mattress, the lungs don't get the space they need to expand fully. Breathing becomes shallow without drawing attention to itself. The body adapts quietly, taking in slightly less oxygen throughout the night. For older adults, this change carries weight. Energy levels begin to drop and the mind feels slower, less clear in the morning. The lower back also begins to respond. The position creates an unnatural curve in the spine, placing pressure on joints that may already be sensitive. Over time, this pressure builds into discomfort that lingers throughout the day. Standing up straight feels harder. Movements lose their ease. What felt like a position of rest slowly becomes a position the body has to recover from. That discomfort leads to a natural shift. The body searches for a new way to settle, something that feels safer, more supported, more controlled. 2. Sleeping curled tightly on the side or the fetal position. This position carries a different kind of comfort. It feels protective, almost instinctive. The body folds inward, knees drawn close, arms tucked in, creating a sense of security that many people hold on to with time. It feels warm, contained, and easy to fall asleep in. Someone like Mrs. Peter, a 65-year-old grandmother, had relied on this position for years. It gave her a sense of calm, especially during restless nights. It felt like the body was being held together, supported from within. Over time, that tight curl begins to limit the body's natural rhythm. The chest remains slightly compressed, leaving less room for the lungs to expand. Breathing becomes quicker and more shallow, especially during deeper stages of sleep. The body continues functioning, but with less efficiency. Oxygen levels dip slightly through the night, leading to mornings that feel heavier than they should. Fatigue begins to settle in quietly. It doesn't always feel sudden or extreme, but it stays present. The body feels slower to respond, and energy takes longer to build through the day. The spine also adapts to this shape. Held in a curved position for hours, the muscles and ligaments begin to adjust. Over time, they shorten slightly, making it harder for the body to return to a fully upright posture. The back starts to round forward more naturally, and balance becomes less steady. Movements that once felt smooth begin to feel restricted. This shift can be subtle at first. A slight stoop while walking, a small hesitation when standing up, a growing sense that the body isn't as aligned as it once was. The joints begin to feel it as well. Hips and knees stay bent for long periods, which can increase stiffness, especially in the morning. Straightening the legs or standing upright takes more effort than it used to. The mind may still find comfort in it, but the body starts asking for something different, something that allows more space, more balance, more freedom to move and breathe. Because when the body is allowed to rest in a way that supports its natural structure, everything begins to change. Breathing deepens. Muscles relax more fully. The spine finds its alignment again. And that's where the real difference begins, when rest stops feeling like recovery from discomfort and starts becoming true restoration. That shift toward better rest doesn't always happen immediately. The body often moves through different positions, searching for something that feels stable, supported, and easy to maintain through the night. Some positions seem structured, almost ideal on the surface, yet they carry their own quiet strain. Let's talk about them before moving to the positions that will help you sleep better. 3. Lying flat on the back without support, or the soldier position. At first glance, it appears balanced. The body is straight, evenly placed, with no visible pressure on one side or the other. It gives the impression of perfect alignment, as if everything is exactly where it should be. Many seniors settle into this position believing it supports the spine and allows the body to rest evenly. It feels disciplined, controlled, and still. With time, the body begins to respond in ways that aren't always obvious. Without proper support under the head and neck, the natural curve of the spine begins to flatten. The neck falls slightly backward, creating a position where the airway becomes more vulnerable during sleep. As the body relaxes deeper into rest, soft tissues in the throat shift with gravity, narrowing the space needed for smooth breathing. This change happens quietly. Sleep continues, but it becomes interrupted in subtle ways. Small pauses in breathing, brief moments of strain, and uneven airflow begin to shape the quality of rest. These interruptions often go unnoticed during the night, yet they leave a clear mark by morning. Waking up feels different. There's a lingering heaviness, a sense that sleep happened but didn't fully restore. The mind feels slower, the body less responsive, and energy takes longer to build through the day. The strain doesn't stop at breathing. Lying completely flat also affects how the body handles digestion during the night. Without elevation, the natural barrier that keeps stomach acid in place becomes less effective. Over time, this leads to discomfort that disrupts rest, creating a cycle where the body never fully settles into deep, uninterrupted sleep. The chest and heart also feel the impact. As breathing becomes less efficient, the body works harder to maintain balance. This quiet effort adds strain where rest should bring ease. You soon realize that what looks like stillness and alignment is making you ill. The body once again starts searching for a position that feels easier, something that reduces that invisible pressure and allows rest to feel natural again. That search often leads to a position that feels softer, more supported, and easier to maintain without effort. 4. Sleeping in a reclined chair every night. It begins as a simple adjustment, a chair that feels more comfortable than the bed, a position that seems to reduce pressure on the back and joints. It feels easier to settle into, especially after a long day. For many seniors, it becomes part of a routine. Sitting slightly upright, supported from all sides, feels stable. Falling asleep happens quickly, without the effort of adjusting or shifting positions. For you, it feels like relief. But over time, the body begins to adapt to this fixed angle. The spine remains in a slightly bent position for long periods, limiting its natural ability to stretch and realign during sleep. Muscles along the back and neck stay engaged rather than fully relaxing. This creates a subtle tension that carries into the next day, making movements feel tighter and less fluid. Circulation also begins to slow. With the body held in one position, blood flow doesn't move as freely as it would in a fully supported sleeping posture. This can lead to a feeling of heaviness in the legs, mild swelling, or a sense that the body isn't fully refreshed after rest. Sleep itself becomes lighter. Instead of moving through deep, restorative cycles, the body stays in a more alert state. Small disturbances become more noticeable, and the depth of sleep never quite reaches the level needed for full recovery. The result is a kind of rest that feels incomplete. There's also the effect on balance and strength over time. When the body spends night after night in a supported seated position, it begins to rely on that support. Muscles that maintain posture during standing and walking receive less engagement during rest. Gradually, this can affect stability, making movement feel less steady. What once felt like an easy solution begins to limit the body's natural ability to restore itself. Each of these positions shares the same pattern. They begin with comfort. They feel natural in the moment. Over time, they guide the body into patterns that create quiet strain on the spine, on breathing, on circulation, and on overall balance. The body doesn't resist immediately. It adapts. It adjusts. It carries the load until the signs begin to show. And once those signs become clear, you need some changes. You need to learn how to rest again. But good news is the body already knows how to rest. It just needs the right position to do it properly. Small changes in the way the body is placed at night can shift everything. How deeply sleep sets in, how the spine settles, and how the body feels the next morning. For seniors, this becomes even more important because recovery doesn't happen as easily as it once did. The right position supports that process instead of working against it. 1. Sleeping on your side with proper support and alignment. This is one of the most natural ways the body can rest. The weight is distributed in a way that feels stable, and breathing often becomes smoother without much effort. Many people naturally turn to their side without even thinking about it. When done correctly, this position allows the body to settle into a rhythm that feels steady and balanced. Lying on the side, especially the left side, helps circulation move more efficiently through the body. Blood flows back toward the heart with less resistance, which reduces pressure in the lower body and helps prevent that heavy, sluggish feeling that can build over time. This also supports the heart in maintaining a more consistent rhythm through the night. Breathing improves in this position as well. The airways remain more open, allowing air to move freely in and out without obstruction. This can reduce snoring and create a smoother breathing pattern, which helps the body stay in deeper stages of sleep for longer periods. There's also a quiet benefit for digestion. When the body is slightly turned, the stomach sits in a position that keeps acid where it belongs. This reduces that burning discomfort that can sometimes interrupt sleep, especially later in the night. For older adults, this position also supports the brain in subtle ways. During sleep, the body clears out waste products that build up throughout the day. A side position allows this process to happen more effectively, supporting clarity and cognitive function over time. All of this happens when the body is aligned correctly. Without proper alignment, the same position can create pressure instead of relief. The head plays a key role here. A pillow that is too high forces the neck upward, while one that is too low lets it fall out of line with the spine. Both create strain that builds through the night. The goal is to keep the head, neck, and spine in one straight line, allowing the muscles to fully relax. The lower body also needs attention. When the knees press tightly together, the hips begin to carry extra tension. Over time, this can lead to discomfort in the lower back and a feeling of tightness when standing or walking. Placing a pillow between the knees creates space and balance. It keeps the hips aligned and allows the spine to rest in a more natural position. This small adjustment often makes a noticeable difference in how the body feels by morning. Once the head and lower body are supported, the entire spine begins to settle. The position feels lighter, breathing becomes smoother, and the body no longer needs to compensate for misalignment. This is where rest starts to feel complete. From here, the body often explores another position that offers a different kind of support that feels more open, more evenly balanced across the entire frame. 2. Sleeping on your back with gentle support under the knees. This position creates a sense of stillness. The body lies flat, weight spread evenly, with no single side carrying more pressure than the other. It feels structured, almost effortless when done the right way. When the spine is supported properly, this position allows the muscles to relax more fully. There is less pulling, less twisting, and fewer pressure points developing through the night. The body doesn't need to adjust or shift as often, which allows sleep to move into deeper, more restorative stages. The key to making this position work lies in how the body is supported. The head and neck must stay aligned with the spine. A pillow that is too thick pushes the head forward, while one that is too flat lets it fall backward. Both create tension that carries into the shoulders and upper back. A balanced pillow keeps the neck in a neutral position, allowing the upper body to fully relax. The lower back also needs attention. When lying flat, a small gap naturally forms between the lower back and the mattress. Without support, this space can create subtle strain, especially over long periods. Placing a pillow under the knees changes this completely. It gently lifts the legs, allowing the hips to settle into a more neutral position. This reduces the arch in the lower back and brings the spine into better alignment. The effect is immediate. The lower back feels supported, and the entire body begins to relax more evenly. With these adjustments, the position becomes one of the most stable ways to rest. There is also an added sense of openness in this posture. The chest remains free, allowing the lungs to expand fully. Breathing becomes deeper and more natural, supporting oxygen flow throughout the body. Over time, this contributes to better recovery, improved energy, and a clearer mind in the morning. For seniors, this position can also make movement easier. Getting in and out of bed feels more controlled, especially when the upper body is slightly elevated. Even a small incline can reduce strain and make transitions smoother. What begins as a simple adjustment becomes a steady, reliable way for the body to rest. Both of these positions share something important. They allow the body to stay aligned, they support natural breathing, and they reduce the need for the body to compensate during sleep. Instead of creating strain, they give the body space to recover. And once that kind of rest becomes consistent, the difference is felt everywhere. Less stiffness, smoother movement, and a sense of energy that carries into the day. From here, the focus shifts to positions that add even more ease. Positions that not only support the spine, but also improve breathing and reduce pressure across the body. 3. Sleeping on your side with a slight incline, supported and elevated. This position builds on the natural comfort of side sleeping and adds a layer of support that many seniors find easier to maintain through the night. The upper body is slightly raised, either with a wedge pillow or by adjusting the head of the bed. This small elevation changes how gravity interacts with the body. Instead of pressing downward in a way that restricts breathing or digestion, it allows everything to settle more freely. Breathing becomes smoother almost immediately. The airways stay open with less effort, reducing the chances of snoring or interrupted breathing. For those who feel short of breath at night or wake up feeling like their sleep was uneven, this adjustment can bring noticeable relief. The chest has more room to expand, and the lungs are able to take in air more fully. This creates a steady rhythm of breathing that helps the body stay in deeper stages of sleep for longer. Digestion also improves in this position. With the upper body slightly elevated, stomach acid remains in place instead of moving upward. This reduces discomfort and allows the body to rest without interruption. The spine benefits as well. With proper support under the head and between the knees, the body stays aligned while also being gently lifted. This reduces pressure on the lower back and hips, allowing the muscles to relax without strain. What makes this position stand out is how effortless it feels once everything is in place. There's less shifting during the night, fewer adjustments, and a stronger sense of stability. The body settles into the position and stays there, allowing rest to happen without interruption. For seniors who find completely flat positions uncomfortable, this becomes a natural middle ground, supported, elevated, and easier to maintain. That sense of ease leads to another position that focuses even more on relieving pressure and allowing the body to fully let go. 4. A relaxed side position with full body support, the supported side rest. This position takes the idea of side sleeping and refines it further. Instead of holding the body in a fixed posture, it allows for a more natural, relaxed alignment. The body rests slightly on its side, supported at key points so that no single area carries too much weight. A pillow supports the head, keeping the neck aligned. Another rests between the knees, creating balance through the hips. In some cases, a small pillow or cushion is placed in front of the body, allowing the arms to rest comfortably without pulling the shoulders forward. This creates a feeling of being supported from multiple directions. The shoulders are able to relax instead of bearing the full weight of the upper body. The hips stay aligned without pressure building over time. The spine settles into a position that feels natural rather than forced. Breathing remains steady and open, similar to other side positions, but with even less restriction. The body doesn't need to hold tension to maintain the posture. Everything is supported, allowing the muscles to fully release. This position is especially helpful for those who wake up frequently during the night. Because the body is well supported, there's less need to shift or adjust. Sleep becomes more continuous, with fewer interruptions. There's also a noticeable difference in how the body feels in the morning. Instead of waking up with tight shoulders or stiff hips, the body feels more balanced, movements feel smoother, and there's less resistance when getting out of bed. The key to this position is allowing the body to rest naturally rather than forcing it into place. Each point of support works together to reduce pressure and maintain alignment. The result is a position that feels calm, stable, and easy to return to night after night. Both of these positions share the same principle. They support the body without restricting it. They allow breathing to remain steady, the spine to stay aligned, and the muscles to fully relax. Instead of creating pressure, they remove it. Someone like Mr. Charles, a 71-year-old retired teacher, began noticing it after making a few small adjustments to how he slept. For years, mornings felt heavy. His back stayed stiff, his shoulders carried tension, and getting out of bed always took a moment longer than it should have. Nothing felt serious, but nothing felt fully right either. After shifting to a more supported side position, with proper alignment and small adjustments to his pillows, things began to change. The stiffness didn't greet him the same way in the morning. His movements felt smoother, more natural. Sleep started to feel deeper, less interrupted. Even his energy through the day felt more consistent, without that usual dip that used to follow him around. It wasn't a sudden transformation. It was the kind of improvement that builds slowly, night after night, until the body starts to feel like itself again. That's the difference the right sleeping position can make. It doesn't just help you sleep better, it helps your body recover the way it's meant to. If this helped you understand your sleep a little better, take a moment to let it be known. Comment below and share which position you usually sleep in or which one you're thinking of trying tonight. And more importantly, share what you'd like to see next. Your input shapes what comes next. Rest well and take care of the body that carries you through each day.